connection with Southern California, California 9 Public Affairs presents Teen Talk.
The streets of Los Angeles can be a harsh teacher. Gangs, drugs, filth, violence, degradation. They can influence our children in ways we adults never imagined when we were growing up. Sometimes that influence can take hold, and our kids will cross the line into a world with no hope or future. But if those kids are lucky, someone will come along who can give them the tools and incentives to build a successful future. I'm Joseph Feinstein, and this morning on Teen Talk, we'll be spotlighting a group of teenagers who have been brought back from that downward spiral through the help of El Projecto Del Barrio, a community resource agency located in the San Fernando Valley. These young people here today have done some things they're not particularly proud of, but under the gentle yet firm prodding of the social workers and staff at El Projecto, dramatic changes in their personalities and behaviors are coming about. Welcome, panel. Welcome to Teen Talk. Let me start off by asking how you found your way to El Projecto Del Barrio in the first place. Luis, how did you?
Well, I found out Proyecto from my sister's friend. She told me about it, you know. I went to go see how it was, and you know, I liked it, so I just joined it.
Did you like it immediately when you came in there?
Yes, I did.
What did you like about it? What was
It's
there?
like, they talk openly, you know, they talk, you know, the way they're supposed to talk.
You mean there's an honesty about the place?
Yeah, they're not strict or nothing.
They're not strict.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're really, and I get the feeling that you're really being heard. You're saying something and you really are being listened to.
Yes.
Something like that,
Yeah,
huh? How did you find your way there?
Well, my probation officer took me there, and he enlisted me, and well, I got there. Probation officer. So
How did you feel when you first saw this place and you saw the people in there?
I thought it was all right. I mean, it's better than being out there in the streets and doing your mess. And you could be in there talking.
So for you, this was a requirement, not a choice.
That was a requirement.
A requirement.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't look any the worse for wear about it either, but that's good. How about you, Olga? What happened to you? How'd you find El Projecto?
My probation officer took right there.
And what was your first reaction to this place when you saw it?
I thought the people that was there, I thought people was nice to me. They could understand me about my problems and everything.
They did understand you and your
Yeah.
problems? Give me a for instance of what kind of problem were you having at that time?
I used to ditch school a lot.
You did school a lot. You
Yeah.
stayed away from school?
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
I don't know, 'cause
I find that one of the most important problems of 1990 is the dropout rate and the people that stay away from school, because school is such an important part of it was a part of my life, a very important part, but I guess it's not as important to a lot of people. How about you? How'd you find it, Omar?
Well, I was doing, you know, messing around in school a lot, and my dean from school, you know, he required for me to go there. He didn't require, but he told me if I wanted to go there. At first, I didn't want to go, but then my mother took me there, and like, you know, I met Eva and everybody else, and they were real nice with everybody. And it's been all right ever since I went there.
How long have you been going to El Projecto?
Like around 3 months.
3 months. And you're liking it?
Yeah, it's all right.
Well, you got one customer. This is Eva Murillo, the lady who has brought these young people down here to see us, and I thank you for that. And I welcome you to Teen Talk. Tell us a little bit about El Projecto.
Well, like you already said, El Proyecto is a multi-services agency. We have various components to our agency. We have outpatient, we have AIDS outreach, we have work experience, and we have early intervention. And early intervention is the one that I work with these youngsters.
This is because of all the different kinds of problems, dropping out of school?
Dropping out of school, gang involvement, drugs. So what I try to do is an early...
Which is the worst problem that you see?
The school problem. A lot of
Staying
ditching.
away from
A lot
school.
of ditching.
Ditching.
Yeah, they ditch school and they go to ditching parties, and when they go to ditching parties, they get drunk, they use drugs, and then they get in a lot more trouble than they're already into. So that's one of the problems that I find a lot in the school.
Let me just check on this with some of the others. Why are the kids ditching? Louis, why are the kids ditching?
Because they don't want to go to school, you know. They get tired of seeing the teachers, I guess, and tests, you know. It's better at a ditchy party. You know, it's a trip, you know, you dance and a lot of things.
Yeah, there's dancing and there may be drugs and there may be some food, but the fact is that the food of knowledge, which is school and education, is the stuff you're going to need for all the years from 17, 18 years old on to the rest of your life. You got 60 years probably, 70 years after school is over to work and make money. And if you don't do your work at school, we know that the people who don't graduate from school earn a lot less money than anyone else. Why did you stay away from school?
No,
No.
not yet.
How did you find El Proyecto?
I found it by Louis and his sister because they told me, you want to go? And I said, yeah. And when I got there, I liked it, so I stayed.
I see. So you like the people there?
Yeah.
And how about yourself? What did you do, Francisco? How did you find them?
By school. And when I went there, it was okay.
It was okay?
Yeah, and the people there were nice to me.
How long you been going there?
About
5 months, I think.
5 months.
5 months. Wow, wow. We've got to do this for just a moment in order to get started. We've done a lot of programs over the years on teens and drugs. When we come back, I want to ask our panel their opinion on how effective various efforts to combat drugs have been. Stay there, you'll find out too. Drugs involve so many people in all walks of life, but they can be especially devastating to young people. A few years ago, Nancy Reagan suggested we just say no to drugs, and if we would all do that, perhaps the flow of drugs would stop. From what you have seen and know, is just saying no to drugs possible? You think so, Omar?
Yeah, I think it's possible because, like, nobody forces you to take drugs if you don't want to. And, you know, if nobody wanted to take drugs, nobody would take them.
Then what is the reason that so many young people are saying yes to drugs?
Well, because I think, you know, some of them probably just say, let's go for it. And next thing you know, they're addicted to it.
You've seen a lot of your friends taking drugs, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've seen
right?
a lot of my friends.
Why are they taking the drugs?
But I don't know. Usually they start up just like trying it, and then they try it again and again, and they just get addicted to it, and there's nothing taking them off from it.
Really?
Yeah.
Ava, you're there. This is Ava Murillo, our representative from El Proyecto. What's going on down there?
As far as the drugs are concerned?
Yeah.
Okay, well, as far as the drugs, a lot of young people are involved in drugs. And it's not just the Hispanic community, as you already know. It's a lot of the young people in the country are involved in drugs. Now, the reason I feel that, like you were saying, like Nancy Reagan said, just say no. I think that we need more than just say no for these young people, because obviously it's not working.
Right.
We're not seeing a great deal of success with that slogan. What we need to do is we need to provide alternatives for these youngsters so they're not using drugs. And when I say alternatives, we need to provide more agencies such as the ones that I work at, and also we need to provide youth programs, and we need to have some type of social outings for these young people. Like, they don't have anywhere to go Friday or Saturday night where there's a healthy environment. So what do? They go to parties, and what do they have at parties? Booze and drugs. So, you know, so we need to just find more than just say no for them.
I agree with you. I agree with you a lot. Okay, so you're coming into El Proyecto, Claudia. What do you do there? What's going on?
Nothing. We just like go out to places out together and have fun.
Well, that's nice. What kind of places do you go to?
We go like to Magic Mountain, to the snow, like to the movies, a lot of places.
Well, it gets you away from the area that you're living in, and you start to see a whole bunch of new places. That must be worthwhile for you.
Yeah.
Is it fun?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. And so you arrive at El Proyecto, and what do you do? What do you like to do with over there?
Enjoy them.
Enjoy them?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like be a part of the group and go with them to a lot of places and have fun.
Really? You enjoy that a lot?
Yeah.
Is it better than staying away from school? No?
No.
You like staying away from school more? Are you going to school now?
Yeah.
You are. Why?
I like it.
You do like it?
Yeah.
You like going back to school?
Yeah.
Okay, so something in you has changed. First you didn't want to go to school, now you're okay with going to school. What's the difference? Why have you changed?
Because I want to graduate.
Good. Good. That's a good reason. That's a good reason.
I'd like to add something to what she just said, is that Olga and I at group, we have a junior high and high school group, and at group I had a discussion about the high rate that Hispanics have from school right now. And
you mean in dropping out?
And dropping out. We have a high dropout rate. And so Olga was very touched when I pointed out the statistics and the problems that we're experiencing because of the high school dropout that we're having. And when I questioned her regarding that, she became very sad, and I think that had a very profound effect on her. And I saw the change on her, when we discussed it very thoroughly, and I think at group. And for me, I think that's when that time came for her to make that decision to change.
I appreciate what you're saying, and I appreciate the underlining of what you're doing, and I will appreciate an invitation to come to your graduation. And I never go to graduation without a present for the person who's graduating. So if I can, if you feel comfortable about it, I would love an invitation to come to your graduation and watch you graduate. That'll be a beautiful day. Okay? Okay. Tell me some more. Tell me about, is your family involved with El Proyecto at all? Does the family get involved, Francisco?
Yeah.
How?
By
You don't know? Does mom and dad know that you go there?
Yeah.
Do they like the fact that you're going there?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's like they teach you like about drugs, how could you get AIDS, and
So you're learning some sex information, you're learning about drug information. That's good. That's good. Are your parents involved with you at all in this?
Yes. My mom and dad, they went to a meeting yesterday.
They did?
Yeah.
And what happened?
They just got home, talked to me, like, why, they were talking about dressing, like gang members now there. They just got home, started talking, to me about that.
That's terrific. And did you have an interesting conversation?
Yeah.
Do you understand what this is really all about, this whole business of the drugs and the AIDS and all the rest of it? This stuff is really dangerous for your health and for your future and all the rest of that?
Yeah.
You do?
Yes, I do.
You're not just saying yes to make me feel
No,
good.
I know. They taught us all that.
I see. Are you one of the leaders of the group, Ava?
Yes.
And what do you talk about when you finally get this group? How big is the group?
Well, it varies. It can go from 15 to 20 kids depending on who comes to group on that day. But and according to what the requirements of each participant. And so what we do, when we have group, we usually talk about subject matters that are interesting to them, and we discuss a lot, very openly, the topics that we talk about, such as sex and prevention of AIDS and prevention of pregnancy. We talk about drug awareness. We talk about communication with parents. We talk about school problems that they're having, and we also talk sometimes about relationships with one another, as as people just communicating with one another.
We've got to talk about taking a break right now.
Okay.
Right now, we've got to talk about that. There are a lot of programs out there that try to help young people overcome our troubled times. When we come back, I want to find out from our experts why El Proyecto has been so successful in its efforts in helping them. Stay there, you're going to find out that too. their records, El Proyecto has trained more than 600 employees in their work experience program, placed more than 85% of their trainees. Young people also are enthusiastic about how the center has helped them. In what ways, panel, do you feel that you've been helped by the people at El Proyecto? Danny?
Well, they've helped me like to understand what's going on, you know, not to, you know, start goofing off again, you know, trying to get me straight. And it's worked. I've been getting straight. I've been going to school.
You've been getting straight, you've been going to school. What do you think has taken place inside of you that's caused you to want to change yourself?
I don't know. Just wanted to change.
You just changed?
Yeah, I just wanted to change.
Have you ever analyzed it or thought about it?
No, well, it's because I got tired of like being in school, and I'm in the same school for like 3 years now. And I have to do another year there.
I see.
And I just want to get out, you know.
It's now time to move on.
Yeah, it's now time to move on.
So you've decided once and for all you're going to stay there and do what you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
And how have the people at El Proyecto helped you with that feeling?
Well, they talk to me, you know, they make me understand what the school is there for, and you know that they know that I have to be there and everything.
Good. Good. So you realize that. And you, Omar, how have the people at El Proyecto helped you?
Well, they helped me a lot because, like, the 3 months that I've been going there, you know, ever since I started going there, I don't know what happened, but, you know, I haven't been in trouble ever since.
Really?
Yeah.
And did you get in trouble before that?
Yeah, I was constantly getting in trouble.
Yeah.
And until the dean recommended the place, and, you know, I went, and it's been helping me a lot. I really thank him for it, too.
Yeah, that's true.
So you really feel like this is a place where the people understand you?
Yeah, because, you know, rather than going out and messing around, you go there and talk to them, and, you know.
You get your feelings out.
Yeah.
What is it like when they first come in, Ava?
When they first come in, a lot of them, there's a lot of hostility. They're angry.
Show
And
me. What are you
you know,
gonna
and
do for me?
I'm one of these tough dudes, and you know, who are you to tell me what to do? You know, and they look at me, and but sooner or later, they, you know, it comes down, that wall steps down, and they become, you know, one thing that I feel we have, and I have for them and they have for me, it's a great deal of respect.
That's very nice.
You know, I respect them a lot and they respect me back. And I think that's what makes it easy for me to communicate with them.
Well, that's terrific. Luis, were you one of these hard-nosed kinds of kids before you arrived at El Proyecto?
Yes, I was.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of stuff did you do? Can you talk about it?
Yeah, I could talk about it, you know. I used to go to ditching parties, get
Ditching
drunk,
parties?
you know, do bad things, and all this stuff.
And now, what caused you to change around, do you think?
Ava did.
Ava.
Ava.
Hey, nice going, Ava. 2 gold stars for Ava. What did she say?
I'm very proud of Louis.
I know you are. What did she say or do?
She just told me, you know, like, you're gonna do this all your life, and you know, you should change and all this stuff, you know.
She made us understand.
She touched me. She was alright.
Now, all the other kids you palled around with, the kids that went on those ditching parties, you still see them?
Nah.
Oh,
I usually just see one of them.
So part of the change is the fact that you leave that group and you go on to new groups.
A new group.
I see. Have you moved out of the old group and into a new group also?
Well, not really, because, like, I'm not into all that.
You're not into all that?
No.
You're a good kid.
Yeah.
You just went to El Proyecto for further being good.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Were you a bad kid, Francisco?
Yeah.
You were? You look like such an angel. I see a halo over your head, frankly. What kinds of things did you do?
I used to sometimes ditch
Yeah.
and get in trouble. Like, I used to write on the walls.
Right on the walls?
And one time I hit the security guard.
You hit the security guard? Really?
Yeah.
And what did the security guard do?
He told
He hit your back?
No.
No?
No, he went and tell the cop that was right there. And then the cop came to my 5th period class.
Yes.
And he took me in. He just took me inside the office, and then they called the cops.
How old were you?
14.
14 years old, you were hitting security officers. So now you come to El Proyecto, and what have you learned there that's been helpful for you?
They've been teaching me that to be good, you know, to be good to other people and respect like older people.
Have you seen that change, Eva?
I seen that change. That Francisco, when he first came, he didn't want to talk, and he didn't want me asking him any questions. And every time I asked him a question, he would have a very bad attitude. He would just, yeah, so what, you know. But now I can talk to him and we can communicate. And I think he's also communicating well with his mother also.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Your stories are really, really very touching and very worthwhile. We'll be back with some final thoughts in just a moment. Stay there. I got some more to say to you. Ava, what's one of your great success stories at El Proyecto?
Okay, well, I have a young man who was, when he came to El Proyecto, he was referred there because he was going around stealing cars. He's now joined the wrestling team. He's gone back to school, and the wrestling team he joined is at his school. He has a job, and he's looking forward to graduating.
What's the magic? What's the magic you did with him?
I think the magic with him was that I finally said to him, and I sat down to him, I says, are you planning on doing this the rest of your life? Are you going to grow up to be a successful person, or are you just going to grow up to go around comparing criminal records with the rest of the gang members?
The motto for El Proyecto Del Barrio is a pride in excellence. They have taken young people destined for a life with no future and given them a pride in their culture, marketable job skills, and self-respect. If you'd like to learn more about the work being done at El Proyecto, why don't you contact Ava Murillo at 818-896-1135. That's 896-1135. For Teen Talk, this is Joseph Feinstein saying we will see you very soon. Hasta la vista.